Imagine that. Why am I here? Well, I'm supposed to this and I'm supposed to that. What? What are you changing? Tesla might have said, well, I got an idea. I'm going to change the world, which he did completely, and to the point that it could destroy itself. So, what do you believe your mission is? Oh, I got a mission. Yeah, what? To heal the people, to feed the homeless, to do that. Yeah, they are good things while you're in this body, but you're working on spiritual awareness. And how do you? Just by doing good things doesn't make you a spiritual person. It doesn't. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe what people tell you. Spiritual means only one definition. No matter what people say, talk about, or try to explain, the dictionary, they're all wrong. It's being aware of God, not the idea, because the idea of God is so screwed up and messed up and not real. What is God? Well, it's a caring, compassionate, loving being. No, it's not. A caring, compassionate, loving being wouldn't create a sick, perverted, twisted world that we created and are living in, and it wouldn't allow it to stay that way. It does in the higher realms because those souls are aware, and it works with aware beings and not delusional people believing they're that. So, like, before I go into Jesus, I got to finish God. So, I do this, I do it in the workshops, and I'm going to do it again. Your idea of God, what it is, write it down, and then what it isn't, and all those things. We'll put it together because it's all lies in your brain. The mind, if it never experienced God, which it didn't, and I could go on about people claiming they are and saying they did. And one particular one who wrote multiple books, super famous, and he claims to be talking to God. If you think God needs to talk to anybody here to tell him, well, tell people that everything's okay. Do you think we need people to tell us everything's okay? Because it's not. Don't take the... And listen, I'm in a different state today. I'm into what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm going to try to stay there. We'll see what happens, calls and everything else, or even the chat room. But I'm going to try to stay where I am. So, just closing out the chat room for a second. All right. Now, we go through life being programmed day in, 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 day out. All right. What do we come up with? What do we feel is important? What is important to the world? Not one person, to 7.4 billion people. And I'll tell you, it's what goes on in every single life form, in every single universe and dimension below the astral plane. Do you have a clue what it is? Think about it. What is the most important thing that most people need, think, and have to have, and all that? It's a four-letter word. It's not a bad word. Food. Nothing else matters. Nothing. A roof over your head helps. Protection from the weather. All those things help. But the most important thing is food. Food and water. Without that, every life form would die in a short period of time. So when we tell ourselves that this is important and that's important, well, tell it to the 1 million people that died in Africa a couple months ago. In 1 month. Tell it to the children around the world in the streets starving. No family, just laying in the gutter, being used and abused, being sold into slavery or sexual things if they're a girl, and even boys are. And what they do to children to make them beg for money and stuff, it's just horrible. So, you're looking for a spiritual world, this is not the world for that to happen. To think you can change this world into that is delusional. Any speaker, the only person I'll give a name, because she's one of the most famous speakers out there in the futurist world, in the fantasy delusional world, Barbara Max Hubbard. She's old. Ask her where she got her money, how she got to where she is. And why does she talk about how beautiful the world's going to be? It's easy to talk about something that's not real. I was good friends with a top psychic who's in jail right now. I'm not going to say his name. But he prophesied a lot of things. In a certain time frame, he was given 87% accuracy. He prophesied 9/11 1 year before it happened. and nobody listened. I was there. There was 400 people sitting in a room when he said it. I didn't remember it, but he said it, and he told those people. And then when it happened, oh, why wasn't he standing in front of the building saying, hey, these are all going to die if you go in that building? At least that. You're not given visions and those things. If you're not going to follow through with them, then why have them? Everything in my life, I feel, is important to me to do something or be involved with at some level in some way. And we really got to work through that because it doesn't get easy, no matter what the situation is. And I could go to a couple sick stories over the past couple of days where I live. I don't know if I want to waste the time to do it or not. I don't know if you're really interested in hearing them. I mean, stories are stories, but they're real. They're what happened to me within the past 2 weeks. And it's sick. So we got to know how to react. Right action, wrong action. Do you get involved? Do you not get involved? Like I said, when things are thrown in front of me, it's to make me look harder at life. What's really happening? What are we creating? What are we building? Do you stop one little thing, you think it's going to change something? If somebody kills a little kitten, is it going to change the world because you yelled at them? Is it going to change anything? Well, now we got somebody going. No pass. We got somebody going around with a bow and arrow shooting cats. Tell me it's not sick in Hawaii. I mean, it gets worse. It doesn't get better. So just changing the scenery, putting beautiful trees there, a beautiful ocean. We're contaminating the ocean. We got an infection of bugs going to certain trees now and everything else. So, no matter how beautiful it is, sickness comes in, it destroys everything. If we allow the sickness to take over, we will lose everything we don't have and more. Now, the election coming up, you better be on top of everybody you know, because you're not supposed to talk to people about elections, voting, or any of that. Well, you better do it. If people don't get involved, look at the people they're going to vote for. See who they are, what they are. Not just read a paper and say, well, they're good people, or have somebody else tell you to vote for that person. Make sure they're what you feel is right. Legalizing marijuana, legalizing this. The right to die. And I only found this out yesterday. They're removing the right to die. And they're saying it costs too much money and not enough people use it. How do you take the right to die and say it's too expensive? Let's not use it anymore. So that people that get sick have to stay in the hospital, and they have to stay on machines, and they have to spend money that they don't have. So you can listen to shows everywhere else, but you're not going to get the same thing if you listen to me for 5 minutes. And I'm telling you the truth. Now, before I go any further, I did a show on Project Camelot with Carrie Cassidy with Sergio 18. Him and I had an incredible following. We put 10 pictures of aliens and creatures up every week, and we got into hard subjects. He's on one side, I'm on the other. Not opposite, but he's on the UFO technical end, I'm on the spiritual end of what goes together. So he's coming back on. He's putting some videos up. He started yesterday. Sergeant 18, pull him up on YouTube. The newest ones, and it's why the FBI is denying about this takeover of Sacramento National Solar Observatory. We'll get into that later. But please check him out, because I'll be doing shows with him as well. I don't think anybody on the planet could have the two of us together and do anything better or greater than how we go about a subject. Open it up, tear it apart, and put it out there. Mainstream. We're both alive, and I could die tomorrow, he could die tomorrow. But my life's dedicated to the truth, to give it out. I mean, we hear famous speakers, they start crying, well, somebody threatened me. Well, I could put the letter that Sergio 18 got online when they threatened him. They said, stop and desist. Sit back and watch what's going to happen to the world. You have no right to interfere. And that's the letter he got. So, yeah, people monitor us as they monitor anybody talking about anything important. Lies, well, let's have more people out there lying, because that just helps people get more screwed up. Keep them further away from the truth. Don't give them the truth. Now, if Trump was talking about anything real, what would he be talking about? How about climate change? How about weather control? How about the things that are happening? How about the Ring of Fire, the earthquakes that are going off? Now, every island around Australia has super gigantic earthquakes every day. 3 or 4 islands have it 5, 6, or 6.5 every day now for the past couple months. Now, Puerto Rico has been fracking, and they're having not super big earthquakes, but lots of earthquakes every day. Now, if you're looking in the center of the United States where all the earthquakes are, that's the only place they're fracking in the United States. So it's not doing anything? You think we have the right to do things like that? Who gives a person the right? See, when they say conspiracy theory, the only difference from a theory is more people believe a theory than a conspiracy theory. If you believe anything they say about the outer worlds of the universe is a lie, and I'm telling you that. Now, I wish I wrote his name down, but I'm bad with names. A scientist came out and said, everything the government puts out there and says is a conspiracy theory, and it's only a theory. The black hole, the white hole, the Big Bang, all these words. Prove it. They can't. They can't prove how old we are, the human race. Who put us here? Any of that, unprovable. And all these stupid theories that's accepted because some smart guy who says he's smart came out and said, well, this is what makes things real. Mayaka, I can't even say his name. Yeah, his ideas are pretty out there, and he thinks he knows everything. Just as the other person that just died. Well, when we have super smart brains supposedly telling us about things, they're wrong. Tesla was wrong about, not Tesla, sorry. Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins, yeah. Well, he was a mainstream scientist, Haiku guy, the other guy, Japanese guy. He's more into water and things like that. And I mean, do we want to believe water's alive? Is it? Are we water? Yeah, we got water in our body, but that's just what the soul floats around in. It doesn't become the soul. We can get into the scientific end, which I don't, because science has no clue to the spiritual side of truth and reality. So, now, getting back to the world, creation, and this whole thing about who's going to respect anybody that comes out with another conspiracy theory. There's hundreds of them coming out on a weekly basis now, and the theories are ridiculous. So ridiculous, so incredible, but these people believe it. And sadly, more people believe it when they hear it. You know, if you've been abducted, and you were given a program saying you were abducted, or an alien put it inside your brain, or a government put it inside your brain, and you were abducted. Now, you know you don't want to tell people because people will laugh at you. Now, 10 other people come to you, hey, you know, I was abducted last night. Oh, well, you're really? Now your story becomes real. And then it enhances what they believe. Now, what I noticed, and this is for real, most of those people hear other people talking, and they take little teeny pieces of that and put back into their experience. Like the movie Fire in the Sky. Well, Travis Walton still doesn't know what really went on. I mean, he's still trying to piece it together. And a hypnotist can't make it happen. And they can't make you come up with the truth, especially if you were programmed by an alien. Government program's a little different, but I don't think you can break that too easy as well. So, but these stories are exaggerated to the max. And I could go on about them, how crazy they are. Even if 1/10 or 1% was even real, so what? Other cities, other worlds, other dimensions, other realities, they're cloning me in that city, and all those kind of things. It's a joke. And you know who I blame for one of the serious problems on our planet? Anybody that listens to Zecharia Sitchin. Anybody that believes what he said. Well, he translated something to make it mean what he wants it to mean. And to make the story fit the way he wants it to fit. That's how you translate something. And if you translate it to what it really said, who knows what it would say? Go back to the olden days. What words did they have that we have today? Any? I mean, dirt, sand, camel. But did they have, like, quantum physics? Did they have a clue? I mean, any words. So when you translate something in dumb language.